FTB Film Study is sponsored by the 409 Tailgate Club. For the best tailgate sauces, barbecue dry rubs, and Bloody Mary mix, visit 409tailgateclub.com today.
What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about Olu Fashanu, left tackle. We're going to talk about elite athleticism, savvy football play. Man, I'm excited about a kid who I think is going to be a future first-round draft pick. But before we get to it, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions. Let's hit it for the blogging. Okay, so let's talk about Olu Fashanu. To kind of give you a brief history, Olu Fashanu is from Gonzaga, a school in D.C. from the WCAC. Now, a buddy of mine was the offensive coordinator there for a long time at Gonzaga Prep, and he had nothing but high accolades about this extremely athletic left tackle. So first thing I want to look at, this is a third down and long situation. I really want you to look, number one, I want you to look at his stance. Okay, so we're looking at the left tackle, and I'm going to get into some O-line jargon because this is my wheelhouse. First thing I want you to look at is I want you to look at how he drives off his inside foot and he catches with his left foot. Look how he's in good balance the whole time. His weight never shifts. His weight is always over his inside foot. That is incredible athletic ability, and that's well-coached football. But really what I want you is patience, and I want you to watch how he waits, fakes the shoot, and he lets the defensive lineman try to swim. He takes his inside arm with a one-arm stab, and he runs him right by. That is a veteran move, especially for a young kid at Penn State. This is a kid that, that's an impressive move to be able to have the patience for a defensive lineman, knowing he's pass rushing, to kick slide. Now, he does have some issues with his play. Number one, he opens the gate too much. And opening the gate is simply this. A defensive lineman's job is to get his hips by the O-lineman's hips. So when an O-lineman turns the gate too early, which means he opens his hips, it allows the lineman to get his hips by, but Fashanu does a great job with his inside hand and washing him by, and Clifford does a good job stepping up into the pocket. So again, right here, 2-point stance again. Let's take a look at something I want to show you. Watch him get out in his kick. First of all, he's the first one down. His left foot's in the ground before the right tackle's left foot's in the ground, okay? Notice how he kicks back. Elbows are a little wide, okay? So he's definitely got some work to do there. You want to keep those elbows tight. And he grabs to the outside. So one of his big problems is he catches in pass protection. He doesn't actually strike his opponent. So when an offensive lineman is being judged and graded, especially in the NFL draft, one of the big things they talk about is striking ability. Does he strike him into the chest? And he doesn't. But with his athletic ability and his strength, watch how he handles this bull rush. This guy right here gets an inside leverage, immediately inside leverage. And he holds himself nice and tight, and watch him anchor down and hold down a bull rush from a guy who had leverage and hip leverage on him. That shows absolute incredible strength, and it's unbelievable. Love watching a guy like this and his ability to hold and maintain right here. Okay, so we're looking at another pass protection situation. So here we go. We're going to watch it again. This time we're going to watch almost like a sprint out. But I want you to watch his athletic ability to get outside. Watch how much ground he covers in just 3 steps. Again, notice the failures. He doesn't strike. He just lays a hand on. But his feet are so quick and athletic that he's a great job of anchoring. Now, notice the quarterback widens. This is actually a really hard block for an offensive lineman. And again, he's so strong and physical that even though that guy had inside leverage with one arm, he holds the bull rush and allows the quarterback to throw a ball that it was completed by an amazing catch. We'll talk about that later. But really, I want you to watch his ability to maintain bull rush and to get his feet in position where they need to be. Okay, so here we go. We're going to watch a little run blocking here. This is a double team. Now, this doesn't look like much. To the normal viewer, this isn't much. But what I want you to see is his ability to pound this post, meaning his inside foot is going to pound inside. And notice how he keeps a good base, and he doesn't trip his guard. And then notice how they just stay wide, and he stays inside leverage. Notice his hands are inside. This is actually a lot harder block than it looks. And I think that's incredible as a freshman to be able to come in and push this thing through, especially with his inside foot up like that. And I'm really overly impressed with his ability to maintain a double team like that. A lot of kids, especially that age, can't do things like that. Okay, so here we go. We're going to watch on the pass protection again. Now, notice that he doesn't open the gate too early, but he does open it here. Notice right there his hips flip. That's a no-no. But the other thing is, notice his hands. He places them but he doesn't strike them. And that's going to be an issue later on down the road if he can develop that. But if he can, we're talking about a first-round draft pick. Now, notice he gets out. He's got great kick slide technique. He lays his hands on, which puts him in a bad situation because now, remember we talked about opening the gate. Defensive lineman's hips are past the offensive lineman. Now he's not. Now he's lost. And so now the quarterback's got to scramble whether it was from the other side or not. Okay, this is actually a really good play to see because this is a quick pitch toss. But again, this shows the athleticism and the inexperience in the same play. Watch how he gets off the ball. He drives off his force foot. He gets inside, avoids the DN, gets leverage, and gets to the linebacker. Boom. He's in great position right here. He probably need to get his head a little more play side, and he ends up losing the linebacker late. But let me tell you something. That block at college football in a Power 5 bowl game, people have no idea how impressive that is, that he truly got inside the defensive end, got to the linebacker. And again, you don't have to win this battle every time, but that block long enough right there is going to spring this for a big play. And the middle linebacker doesn't make a play. That is elite athleticism, things that are just extremely fun to watch. All right, so here we go. Moving on. We're watching our kid over here in 2-point stance. Watch him kick out. Ooh, that's a nice kick. He opens the gate a little early. But what is impressive right here, watch how the kid got an inside one-arm bull rush on him. But watch what he does with his inside hand. He opens his chest. He takes the kid with the inside hand, and he runs him by. That is a veteran move. This is chronologically ordered. This happens later in the game. This is so impressive to watch a kid learn from getting bull rushed with a one-arm bull rush to open his chest and to give him an inside hand and swat him by. Here we go again. We're going to watch the same kids, same drive. Watch him kick out in a stance. Athleticism is just uncanny. Watch how he's patient. Now, again, his lack of ability to punch puts him in a bad spot right here. But something he does do is he drives this kid and stays on top of him, and he's a complete jerk. Being an aggressive football player as an offensive lineman is something that's not taught. It's not learned. It's known. It's there. And he has a little dirtiness in him, and that is what excites me as an offensive line coach. Now, the only thing I would tell you is right here, he should have put that kid on his head and just driven him to the ground and make him like it. But he does keep pushing, and he does a great job. So, again, his lack of punch ends up hurting him, but his athleticism and his aggressiveness are going to help him later down the road. Now we're going to watch something that's going to show you a little veteran savvy. What you're going to see right here is you're going to see what they call a pick play. All right, so they're going to pick the linebacker to this B gap, and they're going to wrap this defensive end back into A gap. Now, this is a hard twist to pick up. Now, watch how he kicks out. He adjusts. Watch the movement on his left foot right here. Oh, that is impressive to be able to change direction. He brings himself back in. He cuts the daylight off, which allows the guard and center to take the twist, and he takes the kid and shuts him down in one step and shows his strength and ability to pass protect. I am so impressed with his ability to pick up this stunt that this just right here tells me, like, you have a future first-round draft pick if he keeps developing. That is fun to watch. That's good football. That is savvy. All right, so here's one that's really interesting. And if you've watched any of my videos previously, you're going to see that I think one of Penn State's biggest journeys was their ability to cut off the backside at both tackles, especially when they ran like a wide zone play. So I want you to watch the athletic ability. Watch the offensive lineman. There's two things I notice. Watch how he doesn't false step with his right foot. He gains ground. The next thing he does, he cuts this kid off. And he's savvy enough to lean into it, knowing that all he has to do is hold the B gap. That, guys, that is unbelievable. That is so savvy. There's guys in the NFL that don't do this yet. Watch how he gets across the guy's face. He doesn't try to man him up. He just gets in his way and boxes him out. That makes me pound my fist on the table. That is good football. That is good O-line play. Man, I can't wait to watch him develop over the next couple of years.